Hi, my name's Liam Connell and today I'm going to be presenting my BED100 assignment on Benjamin Bloom. Bloom was born in 1913 and died in 1999. He had a PhD in education and served on the Board of Examiners at many different universities and also held positions in the Indian and the Israeli governments as an educational advisor. So what was Bloom's contribution to education? Bloom's main contribution was his taxonomy of educational objectives, which was the framework today for modern education. It showed that students learn in a sequential manner, sequential manner, and that the students must develop the basics of a topic first. They must develop those basics, and then once they learn and build up that knowledge, they can then create their own questions and they become dynamic learners once they've mastered the basics. Another thing Bloom's famous for in education was his approach. He wanted to change teaching and assignments from a results-based where students they sprawl to learn something as quickly as possible. He wanted to change that to a goal-centered skill approach where students have a good understanding of a topic and they can develop skills. This kind of eliminated the students that could learn really quickly and that had that natural gift. They wouldn't fare as well if they didn't learn the basics and that they didn't learn thoroughly like students that may be a bit slower did. So what was the political climate like when Bloom was around? So Bloom was around in that 20th century America, and that was a very dynamic, ever-changing time. There was the war on poverty that Lyndon Johnson waged, and that was a scheme to level out the playing field, to nullify the differences between economic classes and education. That went hand in hand with Bloom, because Bloom sought to give opportunities to students regardless of how quickly they learnt. So those two, they went hand in hand, and they were very, very useful and formed a good harmony together at the time. So what's significant about Bloom's contribution to education? Bloom revolutionised education and the framework for students' learning. He is still extremely relevant, and even relevant today in Australia, because we still use his framework. We teach students that they must have a good understanding of the basics. An example of this is the interest system in maths. Students start off learning simple interest. Once they've mastered that and they can use it as an application tool, then they can learn compound interest. And once they've learnt that, then there's other questions. We can use worded questions. That's just one example of how Bloom's framework is used today in Australian society. So why do I think Bloom is significant to me? I really resonate with Bloom's way of looking at assignments. He changed things, or he sought to change things from that, students striving for that 100% straight away. He wanted to change it to students having skills. Every assignment would teach them a skill, and that skill could be applicable in all different areas. It could be applicable in different subjects. That's what he wanted to do. And that's something that resonates with me because I want my students to not just sit there and pray for the best results. I want them to strive to develop the skills that they learn. So that way, they'll be the best students they can be for all areas. And they'll take those skills into their life and help develop them. Thank you for watching my presentation. Enjoy your day.